Hello everybody, my name is 711 and welcome to week 10 of the Pokemon Battle Association Season 4. And this week guys, I have a very special battle for you. This week, I am finally going to battle Seamus, aka Irish Emerald, on YouTube. So, Seamus and I go back to almost a whole year before we even had our own YouTube channels, and so we're both very good battlers. In my opinion, we're fairly equally matched, and so we finally get to battle each other. So this is really exciting. Seamus has a very threatening team, very offensive team, mostly on the physical side. He has 4 physical attackers, and I'm finally bringing Mega Beedrill this week, my favorite Mega, and so let's just jump into this battle. So Seamus starts off with Mega Lopunny. He names his Mega Lopunny Lola, and I lead off with Skarmory. This is a fully defensive Skarmory with Rocky Helmet, and so Rocky Helmet is going to hopefully put in a lot of work this battle. So he starts off with a Fake Out, just some free damage, not a lot of damage, but free damage. So there's Rocky Helmet. He does more to himself than Skarmory, and there's a switch. And so in comes Static. That was a very good play as I set up my Stealth Rock, and so my best chance here is to switch. My best chance here is to switch into Snorlax, and Snorlax is going to be able to absolutely eat up these special hits. So here comes a Volt Switch, and that doesn't do a whole lot. It does more than I thought, but that's because Manectric has the Life Orb. So he goes into Geo. This is the first time he's using Geo this Rhydon this whole season. Short for Giovanni, probably. So he sets up the Stealth Rock, and my moveset was Power Up Punch, Body Slam, Rest, Sleep Talk, and since Seamus doesn't have any ghosts, I figured that would be the best. I figured that would be the best thing to go for. So there's a Power Up Punch, another Power Up Punch, and at this point I see that Geo is taking very little damage. Snorlax is taking a lot more damage, losing battle here. So I go into my secondary physical wall, and at this point, this Rhydon has a lot more attack, and if you look at this Rock Slide, it does a good amount of damage. And so there is the leftovers, and it's going to help me live a hit. Now, in comes Static, and I figured that this is my best opportunity to go for Memento. And so, poor Spiritomb is going to go down here, only lasts 2 turns. But this gives me the opportunity to set up my win condition, which would be Smeargle to start Quiver Dancing in, and then Baton Passing into Azelf. Azelf has enough coverage to have super effective, or at least really strong hits on his entire team. So here's the first Quiver Dance as Geo comes back in, and he wants to start Power Punching some more, but I have something special for that. King's Shield, that's going to not drastically, but that's going to partially lower his attack. And so that does force a switch as I get a second Quiver Dance up. Now, even though Smeargle's special defense is ×2 now, I really don't trust it. He has really bad defenses. So, I do King Shield here just to see what he's going to go for. He goes for Volt Switch, and this is my opportunity to Baton Pass. Because it doesn't matter who he Volt Switches into, it's going to die to Azelf. So there's a little bit of Stealth Rock from Geo, and Thunderbolt is still going to do a lot of damage. Azelf isn't all that bulky either. So at +2, special attack, special defense, and speed, I'm faster in everything. I have Flamethrower for Magnetric, and for Excadrill, I have Dazzling Gleam for Lola. I have Water Pulse, and Dazzling Gleam is going to hit the Latios, and I also have Charge Beam for the Gyarados. So I do have one-hit KO moves for everything on his team, but I was not predicting Azelf to be taking Fake Out damage, and as you can see, that puts Azelf really, really low, and so that's really bad for me. So a Flamethrower is going to easily take out the Excadrill. At times 2 special attack. Even if it was Oka Berry, I don't think it was going to live. So now in comes Lola again, and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to be able to. I'm going to keep Azelf later. Azelf is not going to live the Stealth Rock damage next time I send him in, but I'm going to keep him in the back for whenever I need him later. So there's another Fake Out, more damage taken, and he withdraws Lola, goes out into Latios, and so Latios is really his last hope of ever beating the Skarmory. So I miss a Toxic there on the switch, and that was really unfortunate for me. So I go into Snorlax here, and the Snorlax is going to take some Stealth Rock damage, which is going to pop the Citrus Berry. And so at this point, he's going to be able to eat up these Thunderbolts quite nicely because this Snorlax is fully specially defensive. We see Latios is also Life Orb along with Magnetric. So Psyshock does not take out Snorlax, and I go for a Body Slam. I figured that I get a lot of damage on Latios. I was not expecting the Paralysis, and I was okay with Snorlax dropping there because if Latios was Life Orb, the Mega Beedrill would be faster than Latios, and I could just take it out right then and there. But that didn't happen. Seeing the Paralysis, I figured that that would be a great opportunity for me to go straight for the rest, and so now I'm back up to full health. I switch now, I go into Skarmory because of the Rocky Helmet and such. Now I'm losing answers for this Rhydon. If you look at the rest of my team, it's physical, and Rhydon is a physically defensive wall. Now I was really scared here whenever I roosted because I was fearing the Earthquake. I was really fearing the Earthquake, but that didn't happen. I miss another Toxic. There's a Rock Slide, and so he is just forced to withdraw, and in comes Latios, and Latios is just going to drop to a Drill Peck. Now that this Latios is gone, there's really not much left for him to take on Skarmory. And so my best opportunity to knock out this Gyarados is with Skarmory as well. So whoever wins this race right now is probably going to win the game. Now we see that Rampage is poison, but there is the Lumberry to heal that. There's a +2 Gyarados on the field right now who will definitely sweep me if Skarmory gets out of the way. So here's a Toxic, and luckily for me, any move that Rampage attacks me with will get hit by the Rocky Helmet. So at least I have that going for me. So here's a Waterfall. Let's see how much that does. It does not take me out. And then there's a Rocky Helmet damage and a Roost. Now, to be quite honest with you guys, I made a pretty bad misplay here. I do have Azelf in the back, And if I were to switch a Zelf in, then this Gyarados would just receive more toxic damage, really. And so I go for a Drill Peck here, and right at this turn would be the best opportunity to switch in a Zelf, but I didn't. Instead, Skarmory went down, and now I really don't have anything left to take on this Rhydon. This Rhydon is really causing me problems now that Skarmory just fainted. Snorlax can't beat it, Smeargle has no attacking moves, a Zelf dies to re-entry, and Mega Beedrill probably can't touch this this Rhydon either. So this is really... So I'm actually in a pinch here, even though it's 4-2. Now here comes a King Shield. Hopefully I can get some stat drops, but Seamus was not going to be fooled the second time. Seamus was definitely not going to be fooled the second time. So here's a power-up punch. Like I said, Smeargle has no attacking moves, and now he's at +1. So I figured that this would be the best opportunity for a Zelf to be sacked, and then I can just send in Snorlax, and I'm just hoping that Snorlax can dodge some rock slides. I'm hoping that Snorlax can really put in some work here, because that's probably my best opportunity to win this battle. So there's a power-up punch which does a lot of damage, more damage than I'd like. So here comes a Sleep Talk, and I get rest. That was really bad. I do have one more turn of Sleep Talk before I actually wake up. So Seamus goes straight for the Rock Slide instead of another power-up punch, which is really smart because that means he's not going to risk another Sleep Talk turn. So my last final ditch effort in order to keep this battle, in order to just clinch this win, if I can, is to go for it with Mega Beedrill. Hopefully a U-turn into Smeargle can do enough damage, and what do you know? What do you know? That damage was plenty of damage. Rhydon cannot live another one of those U-turns. That was doing just enough damage that I needed. So Smeargle does go down here, and so all I have left is Mega Beedrill. It comes out, is faster than Rhydon. I'm not even going to chance the Poison Jab. I go for another U-turn, and that's going to be enough to take out this rock monster, Geo, the Rhydon. And so now his last Pokemon is Lola. Lola comes out, gets stuck in the sticky web, and so I am definitely going to be faster. Go for Protect in order to protect myself from Fake Out, and that is going to seal the deal. Mega Beedrill is faster than Mega Lopunny naturally. I find out later that we are both adamant, so I am faster, and I beat Seamus. So that was a wild battle, Seamus. If you look back, like I said, once a Zelf went down, I knew that Rhydon was going to give me problems, and you knew that Skarmory was going to give you problems because Manectric and Latios went down pretty easily. But you know what? We both played really well. It was kind of hard for you to play around. You were forced to sack stuff to a Zelf. You were forced to sack Static and Blade, the Manectric and Excadrill. But that's the battle, guys. Seamus, you played really well, and good luck in the rest of the season. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, then like this video, comment on this video, share it with your friends, and I will see you guys later. But before I go, guys, I highly recommend watching Seamus on YouTube. His capture card has a few issues that he's working on right now, but he has a really great Nuzlocke. He's playing Pokemon Glazed, and then also he's doing some monotype on Showdown, which is always fun to watch. So make sure you check out his channel, and I will see you guys later. Peace.